Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Paladins OB58 Patch Notes Show. This man is flying, and of course, nothing gets through King Reigns here. LeBron's Reigns coming at you. And I got my man making some noises, some interesting noises. Those are reminiscent of an animal I know.
Trying to clear my throat.
Trying to clear your throat. That's just Nick, I guess, clearing his throat. Okay, well, this is High Res Pretty Air, and myself, LeBron's Reigns. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good, good.
This looks a lot like gold, man. This looks like gold. It kind of represents both of us here, the bronze and the gold.
But I'm plat. So are you.
Well, I live the bronze lifestyle in whatever placement I'm in. That's what it is. It's a lifestyle, not a placement, guys. Of course, we're joined with some other people, right? Lead designer of Paladins, High Res Martini. Of course, the lead art director, Thomas. Or lead spoils director. I hear you got that new title today. That's pretty awesome, man. Congratulations. How does it feel to get that promotion after so long?
It feels pretty good.
Yeah?
So I've worked really hard.
You really have worked really hard.
So, yeah.
There's a lot going on. Garrett, how do you feel today?
Pretty good. Pretty excited.
Pretty excited. There's a lot of hard work that went into this one.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm excited. I want to get to it.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's jump in, guys. Let's jump in. Of course, this crown isn't going to stay forever. It looks good, though. I like it.
It's debatable.
You gonna burn me again? No. You gonna burn me again? You saw what happened.
I don't burn anyone.
People are buying shirts out. It's a movement, Garrett. Okay.
It is a movement.
All right,
Created this.
guys. Cassie. Why am I saying her name? Guess what? We got some new mastery skins coming through into the realm. She's going to be one of them. And, of course, your other is Anara. But let's take a look at Cassie first, guys, introducing another set of these great mastery skins that our players know and love.
Yeah, so this patch we have two obviously very popular champions coming in. We've got Cassie and Anara. Both of them will be getting their full reward suite for the mastery. So they'll get both sets of skins. They'll get the MVP, the emotes, the spray, all of it.
Does she do better on Serpent Beach? Because it looks like she's got, night vision there.
Yeah.
Bushy-tailed.
I love it.
She's a bright-eyed girl.
Very, very cool. Now we could see some of maybe the emotes or the
Nara.
poses. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to Nara.
Nara is better there. So we'll take a look. That's Cassie coming in OB58, new mastery skin for you. And, of course, you got Nara coming up as well, the Stone Warden. How do you choose these? Do you just flip a coin or?
No.
Do we have any way of guessing what's going to be next?
Dartboard,
Is there a smart way we could?
It's actually a lot of it's scheduling. They each have their own different challenges to them and amount of work that they represent. Anara, for instance, she gets the treatment across all of her deployables, and so it's her wall, it's the stuff that's going out. So there's definitely a different amount of work for each of them, and so what we're trying to do is just make sure that we can kind of keep a steady pace, get caught up, get it out there, and then hopefully very soon get to a point where everybody's got their mastery rewards, and then as we introduce new champions, their mastery rewards will follow shortly after.
Guys.
Got it.
Close.
Yeah, I know. Getting caught up.
Yep.
It was like the sprays, the big spray movement. Talking about the bronze movement. That was like 300 sprays in like 30 days. I don't know how long that happened, but it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
of course, Anara, she's not just getting that mastery skin. She's also got something called Sunstone Anara. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that means she's going to be getting another uncommon added to her skin list.
I love that contrast.
Yeah, so this is one of those things that we've talked about before. Since we've introduced the uncommon tier, we want to kind of go back and kind of introduce it amongst some of our champions that have been out before that got introduced. So and this one's a great one as well. So
She looks real good.
I need that white hair.
yeah. Oh my goodness, that mix and match with some of the other sets is nice. It's nice.
Looking very, very
First
good.
Canessa, now Anara. The ladies are going gray in the realm.
Seriously.
It's fashionable.
It's
fashionable.
It's the Targaryens are breeding. Genos and Leon.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes,
That's a great symbol of what we have in store. But again, not only winter is coming, we need someone to be able to protect when things go wrong. Maybe some law, some justice.
A little bit of that.
Yeah, in the future. And maybe let's take a look at what Lex's new skin will be in the realm.
Boom.
It's the Lex O suit.
Oh, it's so cool.
Coming to
I love that
Paladins.
art.
Talk about an 8-pack.
Yeah,
He does crunches.
This is just a beautiful skin. Character team did an amazing job. Weapon team did an amazing job playing with this. It is an epic skin, so you got all new sounds. You got a voice pack.
Sweet.
You got VFX treatment for it. So
Bootay.
Definitely a
flat
lot of love for Lex here.
Those are some guns I can get behind for sure.
It's a tight suit. It's a tight suit,
It might be. You know.
It can Strix pulls in.
You definitely didn't pull from my model this time on the backside. I get it. I understand.
You can't combat slide every 3 seconds.
You can't combat slide.
Maintain
Your
a
butt
round
would
posterior.
clip on rocks and stuff.
It gets smoothed out over time.
Has Lex ever tried to combat slide through Nara's Warder's field? I feel like that would be like a ouch, you know, kind of like falling on a pole there. Anyways, we got the voice lines to take you through what this Lexo suit will be sounding like in the realm.
Officer Lex reporting for sector yada yada yada. Got some guys I need to shoot. Please unlock firearm restrictions. I come in peace. If you break the law, I will shoot you, but I'll do it as peacefully as I can. You're under arrest for keeping people alive that I want dead. Shoot them in the squishy bits.
Jeez.
Oh, you're gonna regret this for the rest of your life. All 2 seconds of it.
Yeah,
Winner, winner, chore lock dinner. Officer Lex.
Chore lock dinner?
I think it's a combination between chicken and Gorlock, if I am not mistaken.
Wow.
Got it.
Shout
Got
out
it.
to Charles. Yeah.
Well, very cool. I assume we are going to see this in game as well if we have the
definitely. We should
capabilities to do
definitely
it.
check it
So
out.
as we take a little bit of moment to reflect on the suit, how are you feeling, Nick? You play Lex. We've been talking about
Moody.
Lex as like a
He's right in
competitive
there.
kind of jumping up, maybe.
I need those guns.
Oh, just
Yeah.
wait.
The Freedom
Just
pistols have tied me over, but now I need those.
Yeah, the freedom. There's been a lot of freedom lately, and I feel good about it. Like freedom cannons, freedom pistols. Everyone is. I feel very invigorated when I'm getting shot by those champions in the realm. But I think it is time to change it up here. Of course, getting into game very, very soon, we'll be able to take a deeper look at the Lexo suit coming in right now on your screen.
Those guns look real good.
Yeah, they do. So
Whoa.
Whoa, what's yeah, whoa.
Who knows?
Whoa,
He seems to be
Lex.
shooting really fast for
That's a
some
little
reason.
different.
Pay to win confirmed?
Yeah.
Only with this skin.
Lex has an interesting name as well. I don't know what that is. Is he cosplaying somebody? And that just comes with the skin?
Yeah,
the sly
I think
cop.
so.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Well, very cool. We see in the slide there. The In Pursuit.
Those yeah, I'm just all about those blasters. I'm on Nick's team right here. These are cool.
Ooh, I like it. Kind of zeroed in from the
A
side.
little bit of a new sound treatment too. Oh, and the
There you
weapon
go.
inspect. Oh, it's
Even
so good.
better. Even better, guys. So that's the
Yep.
Lexo suit. Coming in at OB58, you'll be able to grab that one. How can they get this skin, guys? Direct purchase or?
It's in a chest.
Okay.
But it segues into our another skin.
yeah, it's not the
So,
only new
It's not
thing.
the only
Ooh,
new thing.
okay. Well, then maybe we should.
I wanna show that one
We
too.
should
Yeah.
show that one as well. A lot of you guys have seen some teases of this new skins. They're kind of running a similar theme, I would say.
Yeah, they kind of go together.
Kinda
a
go
little
together.
Bit, a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe not quite as much like cheeky attitude
Sure.
as the Lex one,
Yep.
but definitely some attitude.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that Lex was cheeky. That was a cheeky voice pack. Definitely gives a flavor.
Dark.
So when we are ready,
Boot smashing.
of course,
smashing.
you guys have been
Boy, is
spoiled
it.
enough. We've got Viktor grabbing
even know what
himself
they are.
a brand new
Boom.
Oh.
actual skin. Now, is this V1? Viktor?
V1 K-Tor.
K-Tor, V1 K-Tor.
We're creative here.
The lava,
Now,
the
is
burning
that a
city in the back.
Chorlock or a Gorlock? That he
I'll
is
leave that up
slaying?
to the community to decide.
That art is sweet. Is that a spray? Thomas, please tell me that's a spray.
That's a spray.
A spray? Oh,
Woo.
yeah. Both of these, so the splash art, typical of what we've been doing lately, are both sprays that you can get in game for both
Nice.
of these skins. So
Yep.
this one, similar to the Lex, is a full epic skin. So you got the voice pack.
He
you
is
got,
thick.
you know,
Dude, he is.
In
It's
that
armor
suit,
is heavy, man.
Damn, look at him.
Oh, and the gun is
The
so
gun
cool
show.
too. The gun is so cool too. I can't talk enough about how much that gun is awesome. Voice pack's really dope too.
Let's take
one
a
of my
listen
favorite emotes.
to
still.
the V1 K-Tor's voice pack here.
Viktor, there's war, even here. Barrage incoming! I want you kitted up and ready for drop in 5 minutes. Suffocate them in an endless tide of expendable grunts. 1v1. Call me Gandhi, 'cause they're about to get pacified. There's no law in space.
Classic.
Oh,
I'm in love with that one.
that sounds
Well, there's
so
even
good.
better lines too.
Very funny.
You guys got to check it out.
Very cool. That was, I mean, then you get the spray with that as well. I mean, we're going to see this in game, so obviously come with some custom animations in terms of effects as well.
That's right.
So it's going to be a very exciting experience. A lot of people have been playing Viktor lately. He's one of the most, I think, played characters in our game. So this should be a
He shreds, man.
Yeah.
He shreds.
Firefight.
And when you do it with that's actually, I think it's the Firestorm is the skin assault rifle.
Yes.
It's mean. It sounds real. I can't wait to get in game because it's pretty sick.
Well, of course, that's going to be ready for us whenever you get. Just waiting the appetite, making you wait just a little bit longer.
Does it have a new sound apart from the new Viktor sound altogether? Because the Viktor's assault rifle has been sounding
Also
really
good.
good. How can you improve
Hyper
on
speed
it?
lines. When you're
Oh,
Yeah, look
sprinting.
at that.
nice hustle. That looks cool.
Yeah. This skin just came out so well.
101p.
I like the iron sight too.
Keep up the good work.
That's very cool.
Can we get a weapon inspect?
Look
Check
at that.
out.
All the work on these weapons. They're so
Oh
intricate.
my
I love the G
Dude,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, the weapon, it came out really well. The suit itself is amazing. Mike, one of our character artists, worked on it. Did a great job with that hard surface modeling. And again, like, it is the full thing. So you're going to get, the body and the accessory, which in Viktor's case and Lex's case, it's like kind of the helmet, right?
Right.
But you can mix and match those. So if you want to run around and go, helmetless or do that kind of stuff, you can definitely do it.
With your toy soldier head.
New effects on the grenade too. Drop the barrage on him, James.
Oh, the barrage, definitely.
Orbital strike.
Oh, look at that.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's dope.
Oh, no spray.
No spray.
Wanted to do it.
We were
No
expecting
spray.
the crit.
Did we see? So is it the same kind of weapon firing as in the hip fire versus the kind of aim down sights? That same sound?
I mean, it's the same sound for the skin, which is an entirely different sound on the base. Yeah, totally.
Okay. Sometimes it feels like when he's just right there. I think it's probably just the orange numbers coming up. That feels like, well, that's doing more weight. Seems like it has more gravity to it. I don't know if it's a different. Yeah, it does more damage. It has a bigger sound. I have no idea, guys. But that's V1 KTOR.
It's awesome.
That's coming to you. It's a great skin and a good addition for the damage champions. A lot of the damage players are getting some love this patch. That's for sure. So they've
All of our players deserve love.
yeah, they do. I agree.
They do.
I didn't say they didn't. Did you
Damage
insinuate
players?
that?
I would never.
The damage players are all of our players. Nobody plays anything but damage.
After do you see that Never Cake video?
Yeah.
After you select a role and pick damage. Okay, so again, everyone wants to know, how do we get this? What's going on here? You said there's a chest involved.
Absolutely.
Give me the deets.
So both of those skins are part of the Deep Space chest, which also have some other similarly themed pieces of content in them, and we'll be extending just like kind of our limited run chests.
Very cool.
For a couple patch cycles.
Great.
Badass.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have may not
you
have
say
a
how
photo
much?
for that.
For the chest? No?
I don't remember how much it is.
Okay.
So, shame on me.
So on the chest,
Sorry.
there's some cool weapons
Yes.
as well as these skins and weapons and stuff. Correct?
Yeah. It'll be the champion skin,
'Kay.
the weapon, and then for each of the other pieces, the
Very
same
cool.
profile.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, it's the moment you all have been waiting for. We've got no more skins to talk about here. It's all about new introductions into the realm. Guys, without further ado, let's get into it. It's Strix Ghost Feather.
Oh, that was so good.
Goosebumps,
Yes,
man.
that was so good.
I know. I wish I could just repeat. Play it again.
Whoa,
Play it again.
whoa, that was cool.
Yeah.
Holy moly. So
I love those
Strix
trailers.
coming into the realm. What a cool intro video for this guy, showing off a big part of his kit. And we'll get into the minutia.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, he's
bodied Ziggs.
BA, man. He's BA. We got to definitely take a look at him more in depth. But talk about this new champion. You see his profile there. It's Strix. I'm assuming this is a damage class.
You got that right. Yep. He is our new long-range kind of counterpart sniper to Kinessa coming into the realm. entirely his own animal, though. No pun intended. He is.
I got that one. That was good.
He's one of my favorite characters I've worked on in a real long time, and he's a blast to play.
Well, if it's kind of any real tease here, you can see at least starting out with the basics of basics. His beautiful skins, the artwork. Thomas, break down a little bit about the design of Strix.
Well, I think a lot of it you kind of saw in the reveal video, which the cinematic team did an amazing job, as usual, as far as pulling that together and kind of showcasing it. As you get to see both of his weapons, as you see here, this is something, obviously we'll go into a lot more detail about, but is kind of unique to him and definitely affects his gameplay, which should feel very, very familiar to a lot of the shooter fans out there. And so that was a big part of his kit. The other thing you kind of saw in there is, he's got some special relationships, with some of the other champions, and so,
special relationships.
And then
special relations.
And then the stealth as well. So having a sniper that can hit some stealth and do some stuff is a lot of fun. As far as the visual look, though, those relationships were a lot of why he is the way he is because of who he is, right? And so he used to be part of Viktor's unit, and so he definitely is a soldier. He's kind of a veteran of that. Has been around probably his whole life actually. Is been in service, and so he is the best of the best. And because of that, he has a very interesting relationship with Knessa as well. But yeah, so we kind of started with the soldier base, and then basically a lot of that from the art side is taking a look at the kit, taking a look at what that gameplay and that game style is going to be, and figuring out how we're going to communicate that through our fantasy environment. And so one of the things we wanted a hooded kind of character. We've got a sniper that can be stealth. It's something we've been wanting to do for a while. And then as we were looking at sniper reference and stuff, you see all these Gila suits, and it's about camouflage and it's about kind of staying hidden.
Emote.
And so while we didn't want to necessarily go full Gila and stuff. The opportunity to bring in some of those feathers, some of those large shapes, kind of break up that silhouette, really just fed into kind of who he is. And what you're seeing now is, I guess the guy running PC today is flying through some stuff here, but it's some great content. He's got a common, which you're looking at now. He's also got a beautiful uncommon, that he'll switch over to, and then the emote, which he's going to have to go back to because I want to be able to see it while I'm not talking. But yeah, the emote there's he does, what was that, like a
360
and then no scope.
No scope.
He throws a scope out.
So it's pretty good. He's got a good base emote as well. The animation team did an amazing job. Actually, some really last minute heroics actually to fix some bugs and get some problems out of the way to make sure this got in. So big thanks to Dan and his group for that. So bringing that kind of soldier, bringing that into the fantasy kind of environment. You can see from his weapons, it's a very military kind of familiar kind of look, but as we'll see in game, they are powered by crystals. They have the same kind of magic tech that we've kind of established within Paladins, and he very much fits into our fantasy universe as a soldier.
And you'll see that. I mean, like you mentioned, the crystals. I noticed that in his reloads, right, where you can see kind of how they pop out a little bit of the pistol.
It's so good.
But speaking of the pistol, Garrett, I mean, this is something also, talking about new mechanics. This guy brings, I think, at least 3 new mechanics to Paladins.
We went,
at least 3.
Maybe
even 4.
He's so excited to talk about this
character. So 2 weapons on 1 character is the first.
Yes, that is the first.
That is pretty exciting. Talk about that kind of, I think, ideology going into his kit.
So it's our first double weapon character. It's our first bolt action sniper. It's our first stealth sniper. It's also our first type of a new CC that his ultimate is. So a lot of firsts with this character, but it stays so true to kind of traditional FPS gameplay, and we're ready to go in game. So let's just show it.
Let's do it. Heading into game here to take a look at Strix. We're on everyone's favorite map, Timber Mill. You guys, competitive level.
I hear it's good for snipers.
So. I hear it's good for snipers too.
So right off the bat, we're already quick switching between our weapons. Let's fire that sucker because it's one of my favorites.
Sounds amazing.
So
that's a headshot, by the way.
Oh, it sounds so hefty. I love this. So not only is it bolt action, right? It forces you out of your scope every time you fire. You need to cycle that bolt between shots. So this is definitely a balancing element, definitely a gameplay thing. So you're gonna have to reacquire your shot between firing. Reacquire your targets between shots, excuse me.
Can't just sit there and just continually shoot at one person.
At base, it hits for 1,300. So basically a full Knessa charge, right? The time between the shots is actually the same.
Nice shot.
If you include the fact that Kinessa charges up.
Right.
So they're kind of balanced on a knife's edge of similarity here with some other differences.
And the uniqueness about it is they feel completely different to fire, which is great for the
that's definitely the goal.
team.
Absolutely. It is a true unique bolt action experience. It was a lot of fun to work on. The pistol shreds, so I highly suggest you check this bad boy out. But also, oh god, I love the snap action too, the little Luger mechanism. It's so good. And the reload is so snappy.
It's nuts. That's that crystal Thomas was talking about.
Yeah, so both of these weapons are just masterfully done. Paul, one of our weapons artists, did an amazing job with this. And as you mentioned, this is a first for us. Doing 2 weapons on a single champion is a huge amount of scope increase. It's a lot of extra work and everything else. And but it came out beautifully. Our teams definitely kind of stepped up to make sure that happened. Both obviously with the weapons team, but also rigging and especially tech art and animation to make sure that we not only got 2 weapons in here, but they both honestly could be a primary weapon for a different champion. They both feel so good. They sound so good. The effects on them, just the mechanisms, they both have their own weapon inspects. The way that they kind of charge the crystals going in, and then with the reload, you've got the cooldown and stuff. These are some of my favorite weapons in the game right now.
He's badass, guys, and I truly hope you enjoy playing him. One of another first that we actually missed, I think that's 5 total, is the fact that pistol is semi-automatic.
Yes.
We have not done that yet in our game. Before, all of our refires are on loops. So if you notice, as the cameraman's firing, you can fire slow or you can spam. So this is a very traditional kind of semi-automatic FPS pistol experience that we have not touched on yet in Paladins. And really, as you're firing faster, you're losing more accuracy, you're getting more spread. So this is you have to balance kind of how fast you want to fire versus actually hitting your shots. And it's a whole new type of actual mechanical skill versus just tracing as your refire is coming into play versus doing the individual taps for each shot. So definitely a new look.
So with the sniper rifle, I right click and it brings me into scope. But if I have a whole nother weapon,
you should have a new all-fire.
I should have a scope on this pistol,
Thomas,
right?
You're doing my job. You can't segue like that. You got to relax here. Okay.
We're excited, man.
So, Garrett, if I have a whole new weapon and the scope has a... I'm just kidding. So, Thomas did a perfect segue there. What is that we just saw?
So that is a flare. The alt-fire on the sniper rifle is obviously scoping in. The RMB on the pistol is to shoot a flare that kind of arcs forward. Again, we did some cool tech to kind of really mimic the actual physical properties of a flare. So as you can see, it kind of fires out and then slow falls down. It was a lot of fun to get right, but it reveals enemies nearby. So you can do this around corners, shoot it into rooms, fire it out before peeking. So really be sneaky, really be kind of treat these advantageous moments for yourself. Actually, there's a big part in playing with it to actually remember to use it because it is on the alt fire of not your main weapon. So
you have to switch over.
All about being good with Strix is using all the tools at your disposal. Which is, if done right, extremely effective.
And there's a lot of tools that also make into play in his legendary kit. Testing some of this earlier in the morning.
If you hit him with the flare.
You forgot to mention that.
It's pretty sick.
It doesn't look like it's a lot of damage though.
So the projectile itself does 200, and then it burns for another 50 afterwards.
All right, so 250.
I mean, you can getting kills on flankers with that. When they try and
tag somebody, if you tag an Eevee, do you remain basically having vision of them if she wormholes
you'll
out
see,
somewhere?
You'll see the Eevee, right? Because the damage is ticking on there, so it'll be revealing. However, it does consume the flare. So if an enemy Strix shoots a flare and you see it on the ground, you can make the conscientious decision to walk over it to stop his ability, revealing everyone else. And you sacrifice some of the health from you, but you can stop his reveal ability. So there's a nice little bit of counterplay there.
There's a ton. Now, obviously, these flares, these 2 weapons, the quick switch, this is on a loop whenever you want it, right? There's no big cooldown for switching your weapons.
No.
So that's a very mechanically kind of heavy skill set. It's going to give a lot of higher level players a lot of options to use these tools.
The UI definitely does it. The team there did a great job as far as making sure you're reminded. So outside the normal abilities you see at the bottom of the screen, you'll actually see your options. So you can see your cooldowns and stuff for the other weapons off to the side, kind of reminding you to make sure you get over there and you use that flare. And then they've just got a really nice, the whole switch between the weapons, everything about this character is about feel.
And he feels great.
And the team, every single discipline and part of the team absolutely nailed it. He feels so good to play.
I can't agree with you more. I played this guy this morning. He's fantastic. You're going to have a blast with him when you get into. But we haven't even gotten through half his kit yet.
We've been talking a lot.
So now here's another huge first. It's a sniper, ladies and gentlemen, but he's got stealth. Toggleable stealth.
That's right. And as you can see, it's not a cooldown. It's not like an infinite toggle. It's based on a resource system. So being in stealth consumes that energy bar that is present on your screen while in the state. There are cards that kind of modify it, giving you, it's similar, if you think of it a little bit like Drogo's Thruster and all the cards that interact with that. So there's a little bit of interactivity there. However, it was a really fun balancing mechanic to work on because obviously snipers can be powerful in their own right. But stealthing is also extremely powerful. So combining the two and finding the nuances there is a lot of fun. We've done a lot of work, and you can, oh god, even the sounds, those little like owl like woo-woo-woos, those are sick.
I think that's the sound Nick was making earlier.
It was. He was trying to mimic it.
He
did a good job.
Perfect. Did you do the actual voiceover for the sound in there?
I recorded it.
That's right. That's official.
The little more intricate part of the stealth mechanic is that there's a couple components. So the bar itself, once you activate it, there's a delay before, so it's not an instant vanish. You kind of have to precognate when you want the stealth to hit. It's about like I think a half second before you actually become invisible.
Okay.
And then also there's a buy-in cost, so it doesn't just start draining.
It's got like a chunk.
Yeah, it chunks on the initial purchase.
You can see it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's represented by the UI. Great job by the UI team to kind of communicate these things. And then there's also a minimum amount of stealth energy, or stealth juice, effectively, as we call it in dev.
Stealth juice.
Stealth juice, yeah.
I need more
that you
stealth
need
juice
before you can fire and get into the stealth mode. But a lot of cool intricacies. If used properly, you can be a very effective sniper.
I mean, one of the difficulties, especially on this map, is getting to a sniper. But Strix is now going to make a whole nother layer, which is finding him. That's the big key. Of course, every shot that he takes, he's not going to be perma-stealth, which is a very important thing to note. Whenever he takes one shot, he pops right out, correct?
Absolutely.
Whether it's his pistol or his scope.
Yeah, and any firing any of his abilities will pull him out. You can switch weapons and stealth, but everything else
will damage pull him out?
Yes.
Any amount or just one
He actually
hit?
has a lower threshold than some of our other stealth characters.
Okay.
I believe his threshold is like 500 damage. So if you get like one shot from projectile,
he's out of stealth.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, that obviously leads us to another first.
Absolutely. And
there's
there's items.
There's
that can
items
affect,
too.
Stealth as
What?
well.
I don't know. I haven't.
You haven't used those?
I haven't delved to that deep corner of the defense tree in a long time. So.
Yeah, I will say also, just for all my future Strix mains out there, Illuminate wrecks you because you don't. So while stealth is very powerful, it doesn't really increase your movement ability that much. It is position dependent entirely. This character doesn't have a teleport, doesn't have a dash. You're walking, guys.
Yeah.
So use your stealth intelligently when you're peeking, when you're getting into position, because a flank will be able to fight you very effectively.
It's a mind game.
Yeah.
And of course, you guys are going to have to learn how to play those games as best as you can when you get a chance with Strix and OB58. We haven't even gotten to his ultimate, so I think it's time to do it. Everyone's asking, calling for it. What is this, Garrett? Because this is a brand new first that you guys have worked a lot on in the dev side trying to get right, and it shows up really nicely.
That's right. So his ult is a flashbang, ladies and gentlemen. It is a true flashbang, so it will kind of completely like blur out your screen, kind of duck out some of your audio, do this lasting visual effect based on how close to the flashbang you were once it detonated. It's very fast firing, so it's not an ult that's going to wipe a whole team. It's not an ult that's going to kill someone instantly, but you can use it as an escape because, again, you don't have a lot of mobility. You can use it to set up a kill or set up a 1v1 very effectively, and it does the duration of the flashbang effect on the enemy you use is relative to how close to the center they were. It's a fairly wide radius, but it falls off fairly sharply. And I think if the camera, we can actually throw it and do it to the enemy, but then there's also, we have to equip the other device where it will, we can demonstrate for you.
Wow, even up there they got flashed.
Yeah, it's a large range.
Wow.
However, up there it would be
less.
very, very brief in terms of how its fall off. But we might be able to demo for you the actual victim experience.
Yeah, so this is the victim experience. This is not what happens and everything else. This is just a demo for purposes. So.
Okay. Yeah, if you get hit by this, Strix on the enemy team, he throws it at you. This is what you would experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Garrett, what's it called, by the way?
I think it's EDBN self space flash space bang.
Flash out.
Boom.
Now they know all your cheat codes.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, that little post process,
Yeah,
like that little
it's
kind
really
of like
cool.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
So that was he was pretty close to
That's
the
hard to
detonation.
fight
Yeah. And then we might, if we can demonstrate a little bit of the kind of the fall off.
And trying to move, maybe?
Find the threshold.
Oh, and he's moving during that, so
yeah.
That really is disorienting.
You take your eyes with you.
So it takes like a camera flash basically of what's on your screen. So
kind of it superimposes
if you bang yourself and then don't do that.
Phrasing.
Flashbang yourself, and then if you turn around, it still like holds what was on your screen.
Yep, for a brief
fade
moment.
back into a whole new kind of field of view.
A whole new world.
Yep. And also, it is very powerful, but it doesn't actually disable the enemy in any actual mechanical way.
Right.
I have been killed so many times by, like, Charles, just still getting those buckshot blasts to my head, completely blinded.
Right. It's really cool, and this is something unique. So players and Paladins are going to have to deal with kind of a new form of CC to watch out for, a new counterplay kind of mechanic, both on the side of your teammates knowing how to aggress when this flashbang hits, but also, you know, as a player, what do? I mean, a lot of people, I think, are just going to hit their movement skills right away and try and get out of line of sight. But
can you buy resilience to
counter this? It's affected by resilience.
Cool. So this is duration-based, essentially. So the farther you are,
proximity-based and then duration-based.
So the effects will always be the same level, but they will only last for less of a period of time. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like a curve.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just not, you're not going to get like a slight flashbang. Like it will still be that full white.
The full intensity,
the
just
full
for
intensity.
a smaller amount of time.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to figure out. If a guy, you know, can still kind of see if he's farther away from it. So this is a really interesting aspect to this kit, and I want to talk about his legendaries now because they augment his playstyle in a really significant way. The first one, I believe it's called Nocturnal. This is just going to be for those players who want to stay in stealth as much as possible.
Yeah. In testing, I've actually found this one to be probably one of the more powerful ones, I think, or maybe it's just my play style. But this one reduces the consumption rate of your energy by 50% in stealth, so you can hang out a lot longer.
Right.
Again, his biggest weakness is the fact that he doesn't have a lot of that in-combat kind of dynamic mobility.
Right.
Can't teleport to the rooftop of another building in like under a second. So being able to maintain your position, but be also occluded for a longer period allows you to choose your shots more carefully, set up kills better. The other two. There is Crack Shot, which is actually a really fun play style.
That's fun.
And also, you know how I told you that the pistol shreds?
Oh.
Well, you can make it shred more. So what Crack Shot does is if you're in there, you pop them once with the sniper rifle. This is also thematic too, to kind of that kind of, I guess, CS-y quick switch, like hit them with the op and then they're not dead. Bust out that pistol so you kind of avoid the refire of the other one, and then go bah, 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 and bring them down. So your in hand on your sniper shot will amplify the damage of your pistol shot. So you can use this to kind of target flanks that are pushing at you and burst them down with almost like basically flank equivalent DPS should you land that first sniper shot. So it's very skill based, but has high skill ceiling and really cool payoff.
Well, he's got a lot to add, Nick. I mean, from a high level perspective, what's your first thoughts about how this guy's going to fit in?
His advantage is that he doesn't have to charge up that first shot type of thing. You can kind of just pop it off from anywhere very quickly and then be gone. Whereas Kinessa, you can't. You have to almost be predictable in the way that you're full charging something as you come around a corner, and then your next shot, if you want to charge that up to full damage, you have to kind of stay caught out. Whereas as Strix, you're just going to be, or you could switch to the pistol. It sounds like,
or you can switch to the pistol.
Damage.
Yeah.
One of the things we've yet to see in the high level scene, and it's not just high level, a lot of casual players as well. We don't see snipers as like a mainstay character. You know, they're very niche. Certain maps, certain drafts. You wouldn't always see, hey, here's a sniper in every other game that I play in. With Strix, do you think with the dual weapons, with the opportunity for the legendary like Crack Shot to make the pistol more viable, do any of you guys have any ideas of whether this will put snipers, or at least Strix, in more of the mainstay Paladins roster?
I think snipers will probably always be map dependent, personally.
You think it's just inevitable? What do you think, Eric?
There's absolutely a chance for it. And also, not only is it just like, oh, we'll see snipers more often now.
Right.
This also, from a meta perspective, also opens up the opportunity for two snipers on a single team, right?
Right.
So Frozen Guard, that was actually a really crazy experience being a flanker, going against a team with two snipers. Normally it's like, I have to deal with one. I have to find Kinessa and I have to take her out. But when there's another sniper also covering that same Kinessa that I'm trying to kill 300 yards away,
invisible.
It's like, oh my goodness, this crossfire is insane.
Yeah.
So you really have to change up kind of your team strategy to adjust to it.
Oh, big question I actually had. Does the flare reveal to just you or to your teammates?
The flare, I believe it's just you, and it also doesn't reveal stealth either.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So in casual games, you can't reveal a Strix with your flare.
it's not like a Cassie on a lower cooldown.
Got it. I was gonna say that would be really powerful. The reveal is already powerful for
it is
for a lot of
You just have to remember to use it, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Most people are going to be worried firing that weapon as much as possible.
Yep.
I know he has a voice pack, right? I don't know if we're showing that today. We may not, but he's got a very interesting personality. Could you?
Yeah, we probably should hit on it in game.
Maybe elaborate at least Thomas, on kind of what the personality is of Strix?
Well, I think it kind of goes to his role, you know. I mean, he's your classic sniper. So while he may have been part of the unit, like Viktor I mentioned earlier with Viktor, you know, he's used to operating alone. He's used to being kind of out on the edge and kind of having that. And so, and I think he's just, it's slow, it's methodic, you know, it's that control your breathing. It's, you know, it's the same thing we've seen in movies for a long time and going into it, which is a lot of the inspiration comes from, and a lot of the characters I love from those movies and other games. But we try to bring that into him as much as possible, into how he looks. You know, Weston, our lead character artist, is the one who worked on him here and did an amazing job of kind of bringing him kind of out of that. But he has almost like a philosopher kind of like deeper understanding, like when he talks, which isn't that often, it's gravitas, and you listen, you're like, wow, that's important. Wow. When he said I should go kill that guy, I should go kill that guy.
He's the one who just is silent the whole time, and then he says, hey, and then the whole camp stops talking and they turn and look at him. He's like, that's right, lays down the plan. I love it.
Sitting on the edge of the campsite,
sitting on the edge,
sharpening a knife or something.
You guys think you could fight him? We don't stand a chance.
One shot.
I've seen him like I've seen him. Been where I've been. It's dangerous. I've seen some things. They don't call me Ghost Feather for nothing.
That's pretty close. So that was, pretty close.
Did this, you know, where did the go? Is it, how did he get Ghost Feather, not the Ghost Feather? How did that?
It's almost just as
magical.
It's magical, kind of mysterious, and also kind of a little bit of a call sign or nickname.
Got it.
Nicknamey, right? Like maybe he is known to the enemies or his enemies as Ghost Feather,
He's known
right?
as Ghost Feather.
Like don't really know him as a person.
Oh God!
But they know that every time their bodies are dropping around them, there's little poofs of feathers there and there.
Every time he snipes someone, he leaves a little feather. That's like
for you.
That's not that. It's like, man, cool. This is kind of nice, actually. I don't mind that. Put that on my desk. Looks good. It's like, you know, people leave hearts. They leave blood. He leaves feathers. All right, I get it. Strix is one bad dude, and of course, we've got another layer of things. This is not just Strix being the new champion of the realm. You get to play him as soon as PTS launches, which will be very soon. So get excited about that. I know everyone's really amped up, but there's a lot of other champions that you maybe have seen before that are going to get a couple of reworks, couple tweaks. I won't go into reworks, but I'll say tweaks. To make them a little bit of a different playing experience.
And we actually demoed some of it, right?
That's right. The Lex.
The Lex. Right. You know how the Strix pistol was semi-auto. Well, we are taking that functionality and bringing it over to Lex's Magnums. So no longer is it going to be the rote like loop fire rate.
You just hold that mouse button and it fires.
It's
not
a new
happen.
shooting experience. So what it's going to be, it's semi-auto. Each click is a fire. So you can choose to fire faster or fire slower, depending on if you're trying to hit these shots effectively.
Right.
But I love to see it in game. So
well, let's take a look. Lex in game. Semi-automatic. Lawman.
First blood.
So there is a bug, and I'll go ahead and call this out, and hopefully we'll get this addressed either before it goes to PTS or definitely before it goes live, where the left pistol you see there, you know, sometimes forgets to move a little bit on the animation side. But the animation team, engineering, and our tech art group have gotten this like down pat. It's actually really, really sweet because, again, the whole benefit is the fact that you are holding two guns.
Yes.
And so before it was like this locked timing, which kind of could have just been one gun, with like kind of a set fire rate. But now, depending on how fast you can pull those triggers, they actually overlap with their kickback and seeing the slides move, and you can kind of go fast or slow.
Yep. So absolutely, at the top end, this is definitely a buff, a DPS increase for Lex. At the bottom end, if you're kind of trying to managing that accuracy loss per shot, then it's still probably a little bit of a buff too.
Right.
He if you guys are noticing, he has 10 shots now instead of the former amount. So we have increased this, and also the individual shots do less, but now if you're consistently hitting them faster, you're doing higher DPS. So they don't chunk as hard, but if you're enough of a marksman with those kind of two, it's definitely derivative like the Dooley's experience from many other titles. It feels awesome. It feels really good to play. It's a whole new element, and it really allows it's a larger skill ceiling. In that if you're managing this mechanic better, you will see more success because you're getting more of a benefit from your DPS. And also, there was kind of this nuanced ability of playing Lex more like a damage champion, right? Because you just have this looped refire that you could stand back at farther range and hit it. Now you're actually incentivized to close that gap a little bit more to take advantage of the fact that you do have that increased DPS with the spread. So it's a lot of fun, guys. Check it out.
A lot more strategy,
Big
too.
thing with that is, like, you can chip people down, I think, to that execute threshold more effectively now instead of having, like, these big slugs that come out and do, like, 900 damage anyway.
So Ying, as you guys know, we touched her mirror in the previous patch, made it more faster, way better feeling. And then also, we felt that the ult was a little bit of an awkward iteration of what we truly thought the ability could be. So we've changed it, reworked it a bit. Now, when Ying ults, she will just apply a global hot to any living members of her team. So hot is heal over time. We basically took all the healing that the deployables did previously, kept the same magnitude, and reduced the time at which it gets applied. So it's a HPS increase. It's the same amount but faster. And then also, instead of being able to teleport to formerly the deployables, you can now look at your allies while your ult is active and then dimensional link to them. So you can go support them, help them out while they're receiving this H over time you just put on them. So a very extreme kind of good team fight ult, very beneficial. It's increase in healing and also increase in mobility probably. And your homies no longer have to stay next to this awkward deployable that they no longer know isn't like next to them or not.
Well, that's go ahead.
I was about to say, from the visual presentation side, everything we've done here has been a market improvement. And so I think the team heal is something that's easy to communicate, easy to understand exactly how that works and what goes on with it. You do know where your teammates are, and so being able to kind of get to their location makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of like first-time players and people coming out for the first time like see those deployables and they don't know what they are. They don't know exactly how that works, and trying to keep track of that in your head along with where your teammates are in your head and doing that kind of stuff created kind of like a artificial like skill ceiling for her that didn't really make a whole lot of sense versus being able to just have something that's very clear that you can just act on.
And the other aspect of this, so just being clear for everyone who doesn't really just laying it out, because I think this was clearly displayed, but what it originally did was it spawned deployables that would originate where your allies are. But then they would move and they would stay where they originated. They wouldn't spread out with the allies. So you could put them on the point, but you win the objective, and then you keep on going. Exactly. And so what happens is you lost a lot of that effective healing. Now this is much more guaranteed healing. They're going under the target, and of course she had the ability to dimensional link to any of those deployables she created, but now she can go to any player since that's where the heal over time will be. So gives her more flexibility to support her team, and the HPS is faster, so it's more of a burst heal.
So it remains global range, though. You can use this and everyone that's alive on your team. So we can still see those hot plays from Gary. Comes out of spawn after he dies, heals his whole team, and then blinks across the map.
Yep, he'll be doing it faster now.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Interesting, really interesting change, and I think this is going to help Ying, I think, tremendously in terms of her clarity, and I think also just hopefully in terms of the scene. She dropped off a little bit in the high level, still played here and there. Definitely QG. They proved everybody wrong by bringing her back first pick, and so you never discount somebody, but hopefully perceptually this gets that lady back in to the meta.
But wait, there's more.
There can't be.
There is.
One more?
Who's this?
Oh, he just got changed. What's happening here?
I know. We upgraded his look, and now we've upgraded his kit. So
it's like a new outfit, new haircut now.
That's right. That's right. He's ready to rock. So Ruckus, as everyone knows if you've played him, had two abilities that had arguably the same function, right? It was, oh, I'm in danger. I want to be in less danger right now. Hit button. What I'm talking about, obviously, is emitter and then repulsor field. One applied damage reduction, one applied a shield. Applying the damage reduction to your health pool while a shield was on actually didn't benefit you at all. So there were some oddities with that. You could potentially use your abilities in such a way that you didn't benefit from one entirely, which from a game design standpoint is less desirable. So what we've done is we've removed the damage reduction ability, repulsor field. That is no longer his ability. We've reworked all the cards that factored into it. And what we've given him instead is a little bit more mechy, a little bit more fantasy. So, James, you want to just like start firing at them and then, missiles. Boom. So,
whoa.
Ruckus,
we're going to have to see that one
just
more
as he has
time.
missiles in his ult, we've also incorporated it into an ability now. You fire 2 missiles that explode in a large AoE from like each of your shoulders. And what's really cool about this is it's kind of a nice burst option for you. You can do that. It doesn't lock out your firing, right? Because if you play Ruckus, spinning up your guns is a big part of your play style. So you can be mowing people down, and then just simultaneously also, if you feel the moment is right, huck those missiles at them. He is a tank, so these aren't hyper amounts of DPS. Each missile is 250 damage. So without fall off, then it's going to be 500 on a single target. I believe it's like an 8 or 10 second cooldown. So it's a nice burst option for you. Fits kind of that mech theme, and also loses all the redundancy of the former skills.
So this is, you know, allowing Ruckus to maybe serve more of his role that he fits now, which is that damage champion with some pseudo-protective abilities to keep himself safe. But, you know, kind of obviously as a tank now, this is going to further, I think, kind of bring clarity again to his role as he's that tank that does damage. He's the damage tank.
He's definitely a high DPS tank for sure, more so than some of our other cast. And then this definitely is, while there was redundancy there, absolutely, this is a hit to his survivability if you were playing him intelligently, but an increase in his offensive ability. So a give and take.
We talk a lot on the cast about Ruckus. Like, good Ruckuses, they close off these kills. All these people getting away, Ruckus has such consistent DPS to finish them off. Nick, it feels like this is going to be that ability that is the finisher, right? I mean, that extra 500 with no fall off seems like an easy way to get somebody before they get around a corner.
Right. I see myself initiating a lot of my trades with this and then using the miniguns to track them down and finish them off. And they are projectiles, so I think the closer you are, obviously, the more effective they're going to be. And
fast, man.
Getting rid of those damn barrack turrets on the point. Blasting all those suckers.
Do they have weapon effects? Like, will they take on Cauterize and Wrecker effects, or no?
No.
Okay. All right. Just
one last question I have is, during Hexafire, you used to be able to use emitter when it was on your right click. Can you still do that with that on your Q?
Yes.
There you go. Perfect.
Can you fire your right click with your Hexafire?
No, it gets locked out.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be
a little overkill.
That'd be a little mean.
Overkill. That's overkill.
That's
really?
overkill.
The 6 guns isn't, but that.
Just
those
the
2
extra
additional missiles.
2 rock. Yeah, I think that's a little bit too much, even for me. So, obviously, those are the reworks coming through. 3 new big changes to mainstay champions, plus a brand new champion, plus all those skins. Holy moly.
We like giving you guys things.
Some serious content, guys. Thank the Paladins, the Realm Gods, for this patch. This is already pretty exciting for me. I think it is time, and yes, it is, for Nick and I to do our thing, do our spiel. So we will say goodbye to Garrett and Thomas for just a moment, and we will start talking about the balance changes here in OB58. Am I left or right? Which one? That one? Where am I? You see me? That's me. Okay, good. Now I know. Okay. I don't want to be looking off this entire time. That's right. I'm doing this on my phone. So, Nick, welcome to the show, buddy. Ready to do some balance?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
My friend.
My friend. Let's get going here. Okay, General, we talked about this. We've improved the behavior of how Root and Void Grip detect what abilities they can interrupt and prevent. Root and Void Grip will now use the same logic as Cripple to determine what abilities they work against. And champions without a reload can no longer buy Deft Hands.
God bless.
No more Deft Hands Grover gameplay or Maeve gameplay, which was actually like the hottest Paladins gameplay in the scene right now.
It's too bad.
Seriously. Cost me some YouTube money there, guys, but whatever. It's all good. Nick, so just changing it to be a little bit more consistent on the Void Grips. Moving on.
I played a lot of Cassie, right? So you could blast shot yourself out of Void Grips.
Right, and it just hurt a little bit of some of the, where you're going for the Power Cosmium as well, where you get that cripple, but any movement outside of it, knockbacks gets you out. So that's hopefully going to be changed here. Again, moving on to one of the biggest and most important conversations in the realm right now, Fernando. He is seeing a little bit of an adjustment. Fernando will have his charge changed, and it will now pass through shields, but the cooldown is increased from 8 seconds to 10 seconds, so 2 more seconds before you get to charge back on that bad boy. Don't worry, he's got cards that reduce that, which pretty much everybody runs. The shield, however, has been updated to indicate that the description has changed, and now it's 10 seconds. And another interesting change, too, the Fireball.
Yes, my friend, yes.
No anti-healing on the Fireball anymore for Fernando. So for those of you who were so smart, you were hitting that 50% Fireball just purposefully enough during the Saris heal to cut it in half so that you could finish him off with a charged Flame Lance and another Fireball. Half a second later, you won't be able to make that play anymore. But it does take away a legacy item from him. He's also got a card reworked brand, and that means the Fireball reduces healing by 20, 40, 60, 80% for 3 seconds. That's your option to include the anti-heal now.
So one of the frustrating things about Fernando is when he gets in your face and sticks in your face, and the anti-heal it was a lesser known thing about that kind of mechanic, and you couldn't even be bailed out, right? Even if you had a healer that was trying to help you out, there's the 50% anti-heal on it that would still prevent a lot of that healing from coming through. And that anti-heal fireball, no more. So he'll still be able to get in your face, do the damage, but if there's correct counterplay with a healer helping you out, he'll be able to be bailed out of that situation, hopefully.
Hopefully. It's never no promises against Fernando here. He's still
hey guy.
Freaking Fernando. I love you though, buddy.
Dang,
doing
that was
well.
Perfect.
That's my Fernando impression. I should have been playing Fernando. I don't know why they picked you over me.
Honestly,
I'll never
Fernando
understand Andy
doesn't even
Sexton's
have long
casting.
hair.
I don't get it. If he didn't,
I'm
right?
Alfonso.
Yeah, Alfonso.
I'm the
That's
brother.
right. That's right. Alfonso. And I'm Black Magic. Remember those days? Oh boy. That's what the crown is from. Hold on.
Is it? Oh yeah, because you were the king of your tribe.
Oh, LeBron's
Dang, you got to come
and
down
Black
a little
Magic.
bit. Your crown's not fitting. Scoot. No,
We
you're
good.
too low.
Oh, can I get here? Okay, this looks good.
What's the perfect throne height?
Look at this. Look at this hair coming out too. This is really by design here. A king must show not only his royalty but his roots to his subjects. Okay, let's get back into it, Nick. I've wasted a lot of time. I've absolutely wasted a ton of time. Genos, he's getting some changes. Stellar Wind. The movement speed will be reduced from 75% to 65%.
Yep.
And we're also seeing the Astral Mark, the change to his healing, which, well, I'll let you explain a little bit more about that. Healing has been reduced from 250 per second to 220 per second.
So not only is he out healing everyone, but he's dying a lot less than all the other supports, partially because he can heal through walls, and that really doesn't have to make him go in a bad spot. And Stellar Winds, we're bringing this down because it's just a little bit too fast. This is now going to be at the level of a Viktor Hustle, so still going to be effective, still going to allow him to get away out of a lot of situations, but hopefully you'll be able to keep up a little bit better with the Ascended homie.
I just read the next change, sorry, so I was freaking out a little bit. So that's Genos. I think he'll still be played. I think people will still.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, like when you take two things away from like two different departments on a character, you got to do it kind of slowly because you don't want to just spike them down to the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
A la Maeve.
A la Maeve. So next, moving on, Lex. If you guys are aware, Lex had the changes that we just went over. So if you're not aware, you must have just tuned in right now. He's now having a semi-automatic pistol.
Yeah.
So his weapon will have a completely different firing experience. The time between shots will be reduced from 0.7 to 0.35, which is basically a 50% reduction. His damage will also get reduced from 680 to 400. Ammo count increased from 6 to 10, which is what Garrett mentioned earlier, and it also loses accuracy. So the farther away you are, the faster you start, blah, 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 like in real life, you're not going to shoot as accurately. The animation's updated so that can...
When you shoot like what?
I don't know. You're just not hitting a lot. I've never seen a lot of like great movie shooters, do that and hit everybody. There's a first for everything, I say that. And his legendary card, Heroism, has been reworked. This is what I was like, what? He got all that? Okay. It got reworked. 90% damage reduction.
Battering ram?
And CC immunity while using
Battering Lex.
Well, battering Lex, battering Heroism, while using combat slide. Now, that's good.
It is good. We've seen it work. It's on Ashe, and now it's on Lex on a 3-second cooldown. You can do a lot of cool stuff with this. It's notably a lot shorter of a thing than the battering ram. Of course, there's the big windup, there's the big follow-through with shoulder charge. With Lex, it's going to have to be more precision stuff, but if you're smart, you can use this in close-range 1v1s just for the damage reduction against, big hitting characters like Eevee, somebody that's going to get in your face. Maybe if you're trying to get in Kinessa's face, still good Kinessas are going to try and land a big shot or maybe a Strix right in your mouth.
Lex Andro, you do your little thing.
Yeah.
I see it. I know when it's coming. Just slide into. I'm just gonna slide into
into reversals.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's slide into a treacherous
and
ground.
that is,
I said, what happens when you slide into a Mortis field?
Right? That's such a heroic thing to do.
It is.
Forehead straight into damage.
I mean, that takes guts. That takes I'm not sliding into Makoa. If I see Makoa on the streets, I'm out. I'm not having a conversation with a turtle. I'm not finding out.
And the CC reduction, right, too. So you'll be able to slide into things like Dread Serpents, not get pulled in from convergences. A lot of good stuff.
That's pretty awesome, man. I'm pretty impressed.
Slide through treacherous ground. Your concerns.
Will you slide on all your nights like this? I might. Hey. All right, let's move on. Leon, she's going to get a couple of changes. This patch, she will not be left out. She's joining everybody with a couple of adjustments. Precision, the big adjustment here, it will no longer grant increased damage. Precision used to give 10% extra damage on your weapon shots, turning it from 400 to 440. She now only gets the ammo reload off of that legendary.
Which is still a really good thing about it. I think the damage was just icing on the cake, and we talked a little bit about adjusting her fall off because she is very good from range, but it almost doesn't feel right because it feels like she should have that really, really good fall off curve with that long rifle, the semi-automatic play style. And the reload ends up, being a big part of that precision legendary. So this was a good way to take down her damage as a whole, and that was by far the most played legendary at the high level. So this also hits, her valor, her grace, those abilities that do act as weapon shots. Won't get that 10% bonus damage, of course, but the slide still reloading, still a really, really, really big part, big DPS increase if you use it properly.
Cool. Well, a lot of slide conversations happening here, and good news, good changes all around. Maeve, she's getting a couple of adjustments. Actually, simply one to the weapon. She's getting a bug fixed where Maeve's weapons would fire slightly slower at lower frame rates.
Baby Wayne Day.
Baby Wayne Day. My frame rate's messed up.
PTSD on Twitter.
Do you hold back those laughs? Do you want to laugh, or are you just holding back? You're like, that's not funny.
I almost say a lot of things, and then I don't say them.
All right. I think that's what it is.
I'm
learning. Nick is learning here.
Let's my safety lever going
Let's move into Makoa, and he's going to get another bug fix where shooting your weapon before hooking someone would actually cancel the hook. A lot of our pros had been reaching out to us about this, and so
that happened to me, and I was just like, what is going on?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Moving on.
Because that is the min-max combo, right?
You
want to shoot, hook, shoot really, really quickly, so now you'll be able to do that once again.
Moving on, we've got Pip. He's got a couple of card adjustments. Reload, actually getting updated to text to indicate that reload does not activate when Pip fixes general improvements. Ruckus, as you guys can know and hear, just removed repulsor field. So now emitter will actually go to his Q. So those used to pressing the right click for that, it's now going to be on the Q where repulsor field was. Your right click will be your new ability, missile launcher. That's going to do 2 rockets that do 250 damage each and combine for basically 500 damage in an area without a lot of fall off. So good initiation, good cleanup. He's also got a lot of cards reworked, so I'll go through these super quickly. Metal March, been reworked, gained 5, 10, 15%, 20% damage reduction for 3 seconds after using the missile launcher. At the Ready has been reworked for missile launcher. An enemy hit with this gets revealed for up to 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4. Crystal Capacitor has been reworked and also allows you to reduce the cooldown of missile launcher by up to 2 seconds, 0.5 each rank. Opulence has been reworked to heal for 300 health when activating missile launcher. That's 75 all the way up to 300. And of course, the legendary card Flux Generator has been reworked, increasing the shielding from emitter by 50%.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
That's fat.
That's a lot of shields.
3K, so now we're at 4.5.
Yeah.
Neat.
Neato. Well, Sky, here you go, guys.
This is exciting.
This is the big one. This is what we've been waiting to talk about here. Sky is seeing some serious changes. She really, really is. And let's go through them. Poison bolts will now have a duration reduction from 5 seconds to 4 seconds. Take me seriously, even though I'm wearing this King's Crown right now. The tick frequency has increased from 1 second to 0.2 seconds, meaning that it is now ticking every 0.2 seconds instead of every 1 second. So that's a big time increase or decrease of how fast that damage is going through. The damage is now 0.5% per tick, but still 10% over the duration of each poison bolt, and it no longer reduces the healing. So just break that change down really quickly.
Similar to the change to Fernando, no anti-heal, but it's the same amount of damage just squished down, and it'll happen a lot faster. Instead of over 5 seconds, tick, tick, tick. And we were talking about this in the balance meeting. There was a really funny scenario where I got poison bolted, and I was pretty low health, but it was slow enough to where I literally was just watching my health, and I was like calculating. I was like, do I need to be healed? And I was like, yeah, Garrett, I need to heal right now. And then he comes over and just like heals me back up. And it doesn't feel right, Right. You're poisoned, you got to die quick.
Yeah, poison is seriously. So now the other cool and exciting changes for us to talk about, the legendary cards. She's seeing some changes. Surprise attack. Surprise, that's getting 200 more damage, 300 to 500 on your first hit out of surprise attack. Make that maybe a more relevant choice for you Sky players who went that way. And debilitate is also getting a rework here. Poison bolts, damage over time, now deals 33% more damage twice as fast. So that means you're going to get more damage twice as fast.
Yeah.
So 2 seconds for 33% more damage from poison bolts.
So it does 30% of a target's max HP, 40% now.
45, I think.
43rd of 30 is 10.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about 45 in the meeting, but I guess they did change it. You're right.
So 40%. So she can actually shred tanks fairly. She's always kind of been good at that, but it's tough for her to get in a tank's face. You know, you can use these from a good distance as well. They don't have any sort of fall off or any of that, so now you'll be able to shred that much quicker.
Pretty insane stuff. So Poison Bolt's going to bring a whole new level of sky play here. Decreepify has actually been reworked, and that's a card for her, and it allows you to just get the
Decreepify.
It allows you, if you want to decreepify your situation
Don't
here.
creep.
It allows Poison Bolts to reduce healing for up to 80%. So you can get that anti-healing back up on them. You just have to invest in a card, 20 each rank there.
Yeah.
Ying going into it just to round up the changes, guys. And these will be the end of the balance notes here. As you can see, the dimensional link changed so that it's no longer a deployable. It is actually something that goes healing over time onto each one of your teammates that are alive. It now applies, like I said, a global buff that heals for 600 health per second for 8 seconds, which is a nice toasty heal. And while Illusory Rift is active, Dimensional Link can
What
now
were the numbers on that again?
600 health per second for 8 seconds.
Holy crap.
That's a nice heal.
That is juicy.
That's a juice. That's some stealth juice right there.
Damn.
Yeah. And then, of course, the Dimensional Link can now teleport you to any ally instead of the deployable it usually created.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Love it.
Hell of a balance notes, man.
Another one in the books.
Another one in the books. Oh, boy. All right. Let's get back
To business.
I got to throw this off because the queen is here. The queen of community. Alyssa.
How's it going?
Husky, how are you?
Pretty good. How about you guys?
I'm doing fantastic.
Sweet.
Why are you here? You got some interesting things to talk about for us?
I've got some very interesting things to talk about. First off, though, there's another thing that's coming into this patch that has been a huge community request, and that's a message about banning.
Ooh.
So basically, when you report a player and action is taken against them, now starting in PTS, and it's going to be in live as well, you'll receive a notification in the notification center that lets you know that that player has had action taken against them, that they've been banned. So that's been requested for a while, so I'm glad we could finally get it in.
Adding on to that, we
please.
actually kind of glossed over, I think, the general changes and bug fixes.
We did.
So if we could touch on those.
Anything
that
you see that you really want to jump on here, obviously. We can go over, added the reticle change over targets, setting the gameplay options menu. Added profanity filter, use profanity filter setting.
So you can turn it off
at the bottom
if you're a big boy
of the gameplay options
so
menu.
I can say something?
Something?
Oh my goodness.
That was so
Computer.
funny. Why did that happen? The featured champion during top play will now play a top play specific line. VGS will be blocked for all others, but only during the intro and only while this top play voice line is playing. So you could still do it, I guess, during, but not right at the beginning of the epic moment.
Whoever gets that
So I can't
badass
spam
chance.
things anymore?
You can just after. After
okay.
whoever won the accolade gets the opportunity to say something cool. Like that.
So only that
and
person
then they're
can
all new
VGS.
lines too, because we've been recording all these lines
Yeah.
for characters and skins for a long time now. It's just we didn't implement the tech, so there'll be a new amount of personality kind of in the realm with that.
That's fantastic. So when action is taken against a player, this is what Alyssa just mentioned that you have reported. There'll be a message in the notification center in chat to let you know. So please keep reporting those things you don't like. There are people here working on it. It's not some huge computer system deciding whether it's right, not banned, banned. It's like people are going through it.
That one got taken out. Next one.
The other one is that new champions will now be automatically banned in competitive for 2 patches. Wow, that is a very big one.
2 weeks.
2
It should be
weeks.
2 weeks. If it says 2 patches,
It says
that's
2
incorrect.
patches.
Yeah,
Sorry, 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I was
basically.
going to say, wow.
Yeah, with the onset of the new
We're being
competitive
careful.
system, we like the kind of idea of the competitive scene being kind of this very established and like valid, stable thing.
Yes.
So obviously with new champions, we think we're gonna kind of sit back, watch how these champions perform, and then adjust them on the following patch, however we feel they'll be adjusted, and then they'll be allowed into the competitive mode.
Right. And then one note from us, I talked to Dan and Cooper about this in regards to the tournaments that we run and the rules that they are setting for. So not every tournament you will ever play in, but 1 week following their release in ranked, they will be allowed into tournament play.
1 week following the release in
So
ranked.
3 weeks total.
Okay. All right. Well, that just gives you some insight on how the new champions will be affecting, obviously, the ranked scene and how the high-level competitive players will be able to get them and when you'll be able to go to watch all your favorite Paladins action and see those champions like Strix in-game. Before that, though, I think there's a lot of action that took place this morning. I don't want to say too much about it, but if you know, we had a 24-hour stream, Alyssa, and that was really, really successful.
Yeah,
oh, that's right. Don't give me that, Garrett. Don't give me that.
We had a 24-hour charity marathon this past Tuesday, and our goal was $2,500, and we totally knocked it out of the park. Our community raised over $4,000. So we celebrated this morning in typical high-res fashion.
Let's take a look. She's not. You're not on the LeBron. No. She's not there, guys. She's not living the Bronze life yet. She will be. Trust me. Trust me. But this is a video to thank you all for all the work and help that you've given us over the last couple of days with the amazing charity stream that we just did on Paladins game.
Yes, we raised $4,321 for Operation Supply Drop. Woo! Over a 24-hour marathon. Freaking crazy.
Unbelievable.
Awesome.
Nobody got sleep, but we raised a lot of money, and it was a lot of freaking fun for everybody. I had so much enjoy. The thing is, you know, I ain't have that. Thank you. Listen, we appreciate
Operation Supply Drop, great success.
Woo!
LeBron's.
Amazing Paladins community. We all came together. Thank you so much.
LeBron's love. Oh my God.
So that was
I got dunked on.
Good start to the Friday.
Alyssa got dunked on. Matthew came straight over the top and just tomahawked it right in her head.
It's still in my hair, so I'm really sorry for anyone that's had to interact with me today and just got a wave of dairy. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's still there.
You missed out, man.
Garrett, look at Garrett.
I have
here.
faith.
Yeah, oh God, it was horrible,
you
guys.
will get me in the future. I have no
There will
doubt.
be revenge.
Yeah, there will be.
It will be swift.
Yep. Yeah.
But anyways, thank you guys so much. We had so much fun supporting a good cause, and it's just amazing to see the community come together. So
very, very exciting, guys. Of course, if you're not excited about what's to come with Strix, the new patch, I don't know what you're thinking. Of course, you're not excited for the biggest event of the year. That's HRX. Then I don't know what you're thinking. Save 25% off right now. This is the place to be in January. HighResExpo.com. Get your early bird discount tickets. You know you're going to end up coming. Why not take the discount?
Hoot.
That's a hoot, Garrett. That
we
is
are
a hoot.
almost sold out, actually. I think there's only
Holy
like
crap.
70 tickets
That's
left.
crazy.
So, yeah. Get them while you can.
Wait, for HRX?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Damn, we got a lot of early birds, I guess.
Earlier
A lot of
every year.
hooters.
It would be a wise decision to pick those up.
It would be a wise.
Keep your head on swivel and pick them up quickly.
Wow, I like it. Good job. Good job today. Wow, you're doing well. You get my seal of approval.
Thanks,
guys, thanks so much for watching us on the Patch Notes Show. From all of us here at High Res, we appreciate it. When is the PTS, by the way? Today, hopefully?
Sometime today, yeah.
Sometime today,
Yep.
so make sure to catch some streams, catch some videos. I'm sure people will be showcasing all that good stuff. As always, my friends, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and we'll see you, well, actually, later, but here's a video to end the show.
Finch, Young Link 31 in game, from Macon, Georgia, so I'm not even too far from Alpharetta. You know, when you're doing the 9 to 5, you know, when people are talking about loving what they do, well, I mean, if I think about what I love, it's playing games and honestly talking. Those are the two things I love to do. So it's like if there's some marriage of it, then I think esports is it. I was in a military family growing up, so like, you know, I was actually born in Japan overseas, and I was there through like 2nd grade. Then we moved down here, to the south. We're kind of a small town, so there's not a whole lot going on. But I mean, my dad was always into gaming. He used to we play Street Fighter, and he'd put me in the corner, and he'd be like, "All right, just dodge these fireballs. Don't do anything else," And I guess it's just, we started off playing games like that. So I've always loved them. Always played.
Skirt, open up the sesame.